Disney's latest debacle surrounding its live-action Snow White remake has reached critical mass, with mounting backlash threatening to topple the very foundations of the storied studio. As branding experts and insiders sound the alarm, it's becoming painfully clear that Rachel Zegler's casting and the film's controversial creative choices have become a full-blown disaster. The pressure is immense, and Bob Iger, Disney's once revered CEO, is scrambling to steady a ship that feels dangerously close to capsizing. Bob Iger's return to Disney was supposed to be the company's saving grace. Announced on a quiet Sunday night, the news of Iger stepping back into his old role as CEO to replace the beleaguered Bob Chapek seemed like a much-needed lifeline. Investors breathed a sigh of relief, hoping Iger would return the magic to Disney's fading kingdom. But the initial optimism has quickly been replaced by harsh reality. Despite Iger's storied history at the helm, he now faces an almost insurmountable task: navigating a perfect storm of financial, creative, and reputational crises. The trouble didn't begin with Iger, but it's now his problem to solve. Under Chapek, Disney's streaming business bled money, with even the explosive growth of Disney Plus failing to offset its staggering costs. At the same time, the theme park struggled, box office returns dwindled, and Disney's content strategy seemed increasingly out of sync with its audience. Iger has promised to fix these problems, but can he really? The challenges are enormous, and some fans and critics are beginning to wonder if Disney has simply lost its way. One glaring example of Disney's identity crisis is the upcoming Snow White remake. Photos from the set leaked online, and the reactions were scathing. The beloved seven dwarves have been replaced by CGI, magical creatures that are diverse in every possible way: size, shape, ethnicity, and gender. And the iconic Snow White, who is famously described as having skin as white as snow, is now portrayed by Rachel Zegler, a Latina actress. For some, this casting represents a step forward for diversity. But for many Disney purists, it feels like an unnecessary departure from the classic fairy tale they hold dear. Adding fuel to the fire are Rachel Zegler's own comments, which have been perceived as dismissive of the original film. Rather than honoring the story that introduced Disney to the world in 1937, Zegler has taken shots at its themes, calling them outdated and emphasizing that the new Snow White won't focus on a prince or traditional romance. It's about becoming the leader her father told her she could be, Zegler said, doubling down on the idea that the new Snow White will be more about female empowerment and less about fairy tale magic. Fans felt betrayed, interpreting her words as a rejection of the film's core values of innocence, romance, and hope. The backlash has been swift and unforgiving. The film's trailer, weighed down with CGI and stripped of its original charm, has racked up over 1 million dislikes. The negative reaction was so intense that Disney reportedly fired the marketing team, and the company responsible for the trailer desperate to shift the narrative. But blaming the marketing team feels like a desperate attempt to deflect from deeper issues. It's like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. Disney is still in serious trouble. Rachel Zegler, once poised to lead a Snow White trilogy, has seen her dreams crumble. The original plan was to make 3 Snow White movies, securing her a reported $20 million payday. But now, with the sequel scrapped, Zegler has lost that financial windfall. Sources say she's furious and feels blindsided, having passed up other roles for what she thought was a secure Disney deal. Her team is even rumored to be exploring legal action, following in the footsteps of actors like Scarlett Johansson, who successfully sued Disney over contract disputes. It's a harsh lesson for Zegler, who seemed destined for stardom, but now finds herself caught in a nightmare. Disney's financial struggles extend far beyond Snow White. The company has suffered one box office flop after another, from Strange World losing $147 million to Elemental having the worst opening for a Pixar film in nearly 3 decades. Even the highly anticipated Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny fell short, despite a colossal budget. This pattern of failure has become deeply troubling, with Disney investing hundreds of millions in films that simply aren't delivering. Projects like The Lion King sequel, Hercules, and The Sword in the Stone are stuck in development limbo, and the future looks increasingly uncertain. As the backlash against Snow White intensifies, Disney insiders have reportedly described a sense of crisis within the company. Bob Iger has called emergency meetings with top executives to discuss damage control. They're scrambling to fill gaps left in their release schedule by the canceled Snow White sequels, and the panic is palpable. It's like Disney is trying to plug holes in a sinking ship with tissue paper. Shareholders are losing patience, and fans are losing faith. Iger's leadership is under immense scrutiny, and the pressure to deliver results is at an all-time high. Rachel Zegler's own career hangs in the balance. Reports indicate that Disney has dropped her from other projects, including a major animated film that was supposed to be a game-changer. It's a brutal turn of events for a young actress who thought she was on the brink of superstardom. Hollywood can be unforgiving, and Zegler's situation serves as a stark reminder of how quickly fortunes can change. The stakes for Bob Iger and Disney couldn't be higher. His contract ends in 2026, and it's unclear what will happen afterward. Will the next CEO steer the company in a new direction, or will they continue down the same path that has alienated so many loyal fans? For now, Iger is the man in charge, but his legacy and Disney's future are very much on the line. In many ways, the Snow White remake has become a symbol of Disney's broader struggles, a misguided attempt to modernize a classic, a bloated budget, and a PR nightmare. Fans are tired of seeing beloved stories altered to fit modern agendas, especially when it feels like the magic has been sucked out. Disney was once synonymous with timeless storytelling and family-friendly enchantment. Now, critics argue that it's a company that's lost touch with its audience, more focused on virtue signaling than crafting stories that resonate. So, what's next for Disney? Can they reclaim their place as the masters of magic? Or is this the beginning of the end for their golden age? Are these sweeping changes true progress? Or are they a misguided attempt that's alienating the core audience Disney depends on? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates on Hollywood's biggest controversies. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.